So all the lecture will be recorded, except some information that I cannot record it, then I will turn it offline. Okay. So this is our module code 5215. There's no prerequisite, means you can take this module without any one. We don't have lab. Maybe you need to go to lab for 3D printing for projects. So every time you go into lab, make sure your feet is covered, because we are in Malaysia, very hot country. We are used to slenders, but go into the lab, please wear something that protect your feet. Okay. Okay. So the rest you read in the slides. So what is important is these slides. So this module, we have 4 main learning outcomes. So how this will affect your test 1, test 2, and final exam, or maybe even in your projects. So LO1, we learn about product management models. So this one will come out in the test 1, question 1. This one will be in test 1, question 2. So it will talk about responsibilities in the management and product development. So question 1, question 2, CL1, CL2, and then CL3, CL4 will be in your test 2, question 1, question 2. And for final exam, question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so question 1, 2, CL1, 2, 3 is compulsory. Question 1, 2, 3. 4 will be on question 4 and question 5. Okay, so this is how we design the question. So I'll highlight all the keywords here, especially LO3, like you see, scheduling and cost implication. Will be more on the table. You need to draw something, calculate something. But at CL4, it will be on the elaboration of new products design. So we'll give you a statement, then you use the models, a flow chart, the standard flow chart. You draw the standard flow chart, then you apply to that statement. For example, the step 1, you do this, step 2, you do this, standard already. But by using the statement in the question, you elaborate. For example, you ask you to design a motorcycle, so and so, will give you some specs. So you follow the chart, means in the question you need to draw the flow chart, the design flow chart. Then after that, you elaborate on that one. Okay. Okay, my room will be in the level 5, room 22, which is in the middle of the walkway, inside walkway. Right. So my consultation time is lunch hour. So if you need to see me, you just WhatsApp me. Then you come and see me. Okay. So if no, then maybe we can discuss during the lunch hour in the canteen or outside. Right. Okay. This one no. Okay. So this is how we assess you. We have 60% coursework and 40% final. It's a bit different from other module. Other is final is 60, but for this module, you focus more on the coursework. So basically, or in other words, you can't fail this module unless you don't pass up your assignment. If you pass out your assignment and you hit the minimum requirement, then you will sure pass this one, right? So project 30% means you come with the project, you do the report for that. This one is more on the a new product development. You design something new, right? So what I'm thinking is I'm going to ask you to design a casing for something using 3D printings. Okay, then a test for this one, and assignment 10%. So assignment 10% in all the subject that I teach is very easy. It will be all the tutorial question that we discuss in the class. So I will pick 10 questions from all the chapter that we discuss. Okay, so basically, if you attend the class or you just go and download my PowerPoint slides, you follow and you copy the answer inside the assignment. Basically, you get 10% unless you copy the wrong answer. Some in my class or in my tutorial, I purposely put the wrong answer, and then will ask you to pinpoint where do I do the mistakes in the calculation. So don't blindly copy lah. I will still give you the correct answer in the class, but just pay attention when you do your assignment. Okay, exam will be, exam will be, this one should be 40, typo error here. So 40, you need to get 40% out of your final. So means you need to answer 4 questions. So each question you score 10 marks, 10 marks, 10 marks, then you pass the module already. Just don't leave your answer blank. There's a pattern in the way I ask question in all the module I teach. This is a question. Let's say this question is 25 marks. Usually you have A, B, and C section in my class. A will be on theory. Any theory or any features or diagram that you see in my PowerPoint slides. Okay. B will be on analysis or calculation. Number C you need to answer how or why. Let's say you get a value in B, you need to answer why this value or what does this value mean or how to improve that value. So it will be these 3. Normally the first one will be, sometimes its figure is 10 marks and these 2 will share 15 marks. It depends on the complexity. So you just play around this one, but the structure of the question already fixed in the way I set the question. So it will be in this way. So to pass the final exam, basically you write the general equation, you draw the diagram, and you do a little bit on analysis, you will pass the module already, even answering the how or why. Okay. Then for this module, there are no complex mathematics. There's no integration. There's no differentiation. There's only multiplication, addition, subtraction, and there's a certain way of calculating. So you can't go wrong unless you don't study. Okay. So we will have a few titles. So as you can see, the first week we'll look about some models. Second week we'll look about how to become a project manager. Then we look at organization chart. Then we do some week 4. We do some calculation. You make some calculation for the scheduling, how to make things faster or effectively, or how to identify the problem in the schedule and so on. Then we look at pricing, you do some costing. Then week 6 is more on the new product design already. So new product design, we learn about the design process. And the last week will be on your group presentation and your report. Okay. Last semester, what I do is that I don't have a physical presentation. I ask the group to record a video and upload into a platform. They can use MS Team to record, or they can use YouTube, or they can use any social media platform. Then they share the link to me. I go and watch. Then I give you the marks for group presentation. That is what I do, because last semester I focus a lot in revision. I give a lot of exercise and I discuss in the class. Okay. Because the last group is a short semester, so everything happened very fast. So your semester, long semester, so maybe we can do a physical presentation. Okay. Right. Now these are the reference book, but in your course structure document, maybe only two books or 3 books, but I use more than 2 books. Right. So the first chapter we will be go into introduction of project management. So we'll look into all these areas. Okay. So definition again, this module will be heavily on the theory part. You're very heavy on the theory part. So some of it you can read one. I go very fast. Okay. And then I give you some example and so on. So when you talk about projects, so sometimes the question asks you, define a project. Then you write all this. Okay. So you have these few points. A project, it must have an objective with the focus of creating value. Okay, this module you have to think like a business owner already. Okay, so things that you it's not only calculating, but you have to know that your projects, you as a project manager, you have to consider the benefit of the stakeholders and the sponsor. You means your boss hire you to manage a project, so make sure the project is successful. So there's a definition of successful project later on. Okay, so projects like your FYP is a project. You have FYP, you have objective, but you don't have a business value for your FYP. However, for project management outside there, when you graduate and you work as a project leaders, then you need to consider business value, and then complete within the certain specification. Who give you the certification? Your customers. Okay. Now in this case, your customer can be internal customer and external customers. Internal customer, it can be department, let's say other department A can be your customers. Okay. So for example, car company. Let's say you are the project manager for the X50 or X670 models, right? So you manage the whole models, but the car, if you break down, it can be the painting shop, it can be the tires assembly, it can be the chassis, it can be R&D department. So you manage each of these one. You are at the top of the projects, so you manage. So the customer here, the certain specification, it can be internal, it can be external, means the customers outside lah. You sell the car to outside lah. So it can be two. So when you answer question in this module, it's a bit tricky. You need to be careful whether you are looking at the internal or external. Okay. Okay. So most of the time for test one, your question will focus on internal things. Test two, then a little bit on outside, external. All right. Then you have a date. You have a start date, end date. Okay. Project has objective, business value, specification. You have a timeline for that one, and you have funding limit, which is the sponsor, your capital and all this. Okay. So project have funding, and also consume your resources. Your resources here means money, equipment, people, and so on. So you have human and non-human resources. Then it can be multifunctional. Here is like you cross-functional line. Here functional lines means department. Like for example, the automotive car just now, X70, you have chassis department, you have assembly department, you have finance department, you have sales department, marketing department, and so on. So these are the functional lines. So this may be the first word you learn today. Functional line means those function department. Assembly is one function department. Finance, one function department, and so on. Okay, so you are the one who manage the project. So you need to communicate between the functional line. Okay, so this is the general overview of projects, and this is the characteristics of a project definition. Okay, so you can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 points. If the question asks you, what is a define based on understanding, or give a definition of a project. So you see like maybe 10 marks for A. So means you see 10 marks, most probably you'll have 5 points to write. You see 10 marks. Okay. So we will refer to this book, Project Management Book of Knowledge or PM Book Guide. This one, why we focus on this book, why I use this book, because there is a certification, what you call, PMI, Project Management Institution certification, where when you become a certified project manager, this will be the certificate that you need, or your company will send you to the training. Okay, so there is a project management certificate out there, and the material that I use is for this certification. Okay, so this module will help you when you go out there, you want to prepare for your exam. It will help you like 70%. You already know what to do, what to answer for this module. Okay, so I use this book for this one, and some of your assessment, some of your test 1, test 2, or even your final exam will come from this book. Okay, right. Now, based on this book, the definition of project management is application of what you know or what you have. So to achieve something, to achieve a requirement. Okay, so again, if we ask you to define a project and project management, means you need to give the 5 pointers now plus this definition. Okay, so project management is the application of what you have or resources to achieve the project requirement, or you can write customer requirement. Okay, so for this module, I don't really go very deep into a specific word, as long as your meaning is very near to that meaning. Okay, so I highlight the thing. So this one is called activity or process. So this one, later in the later chapter, when you do costing, when you do time planning, you will see this one group under process or activities, means the knowledge, skill, tools, and all this. Okay, then this book, it give you 5 process group. Okay, means project management, they have 5 process according to this one. They have 5 process. First one is the start of the projects, or according to this book, is called project initiation. There are 5 stages. Then the second one is planning. The third one is execution, monitoring, and the last one, you close the projects. There are 5 steps of process for the project. Means a cycle for project management. Okay, so this slide is important. It's a very popular question to identify 5 process group in the project management. Or is a 5 phrase or 5 activities in the project management. Okay, then you write these 5, you need to elaborate based on the points given. Okay, you don't need to give me all, maybe 2 or 3 points from here. Okay, I don't expect you to memorize all, but you elaborate on that. Maybe 3 points from each. Okay, so again, there are 5 phrases. You start the project, or you can write, maybe you in the exam or a task, you don't remember this word, you can just say project start, also can. When you do the project initiation, you identify your resources, then you recognize what is the benefit. In this case, will be more on the company benefit. What does the profit that you earn from this one? Okay, preparation or document of the sanction of the project. This one, because sometimes project you need to do bidding, you need to bid for that projects. So you prepare the documents, or you need to present a proposal to your sponsor or your or the government. So this one is the preparation of document. Sometimes you need permit, you need to submit all these things. So then you assign a project manager. So your role as a project manager start from here. Okay, start from here. Then you do planning already. When you do planning, this one most of the time they are planned by project manager. So, and then project manager, they will pull resources from the functional line. They'll pick one member they form a project management office. In short word, later you will see this word, PMO. In my slide, I don't have this one. But in the tutorial question, you will see this word, project management office, which is a team, that group that lead by project manager consists of members from the functional line. Okay, so then you define what need to work, what need to do, job requirement, and then what is the quality and quantity of the work. Right, these are the two important keywords: quality and quantity. Quantity means the thing that you can count, you can measure. Quality is maybe appearance, right? The quality of the paint job and so on. Definition of resources needed. Then you do risk management in the planning stage. Then you, in the third phase, you do execution. Once you do this one, up to here, there is a stage there. Later in the later chapter, there's a stage here. After planning, you need to make decision already. You need to make decision. So I just give you a heads up. There are 4 types of decision throughout this module. There are 4 types. First, go ahead, means proceed without changes. Just go, green light. Number 2, on hold. Oh, sorry. First one is proceed without alteration. Second one, proceed with alteration. Means you proceed green light, but make some changes. First one is 100%, no need any changes, just proceed to the next phase. Third one is to on hold and request for more information. Means not proceed, stop the projects, on hold and request for information for further decision. Means you need to gather and then make decision. Okay, it can be reversed back. So once you gather information, it can either go proceed with alteration, or the last one, cancel the projects. The last one is no go, means red light, stop the project. So these are the 4 important decisions that you need to make, or you or the higher authority need to decide. Proceed without alteration or without any changes. Second, proceed with changes. The third one, on hold and wait for more information. Third one, cancel. Okay, so when you manage projects, the earliest decision or the decision to cancel means the bad decision is to, the most challenging decision is to cancel the projects. If you can cancel early of the projects. If it become like 75% and more already, you want to cancel the project, can also, but you will have some losses to the companies, which will be not a good sign. Why? Because project manager, usually they are the candidates for general manager or a promotion to a higher senior position. Okay, so again, project manager is a stepping stone to a higher management level. So normally the top management, when they want to select candidates for management role, they will give you assignment, they'll give you a project, then they will see to able to handle project or not. Because project manager, you need to communicate with all the department in the company. So when you work with all these people, they will test your communication skill, they will test your negotiation skill, your planning skill, your technical skill. And then if the project success and bring profit to the company, then you are the person they are looking for. If not, then that's it lah. You are doing a very bad project, then that's it long. They will choose other person, and maybe you just stuck in the company for a very long time. Okay. So project execution, you start to negotiate with the project teams member, means you talk to the functional group, because you need to loan resources from them. So because you as a project manager, you don't hold anything. You are like a postman, you are like a chairman for that projects. So you don't own the machine, you don't own the money, you don't own the workers in that assembly line and so on. So what you do, you need to communicate. So you communicate with the manager of the department. Then you manage the work, you work with the team members to help them improve. Okay. So then after that, when you start already, execute already, you need to continue to monitor. Okay. You monitor. How you monitor, you track the progress. Means you have a checklist or you have a timeline, you have a meeting, you have updates and so on. Then you're comparing the predict outcome and actual outcome. So this one, normally they will use Gantt chart or project Gantt chart. So this one very popular in Petronas. So let's say this is item A, item B. So they will have two rows here. One is plan, one is actual. So they will compare, especially oil and gas, they are very short in their window or space that they can use. So if there is differences in the plan and actual, then they will immediately take some action to chase up the things. So oil and gas, what they afraid of is the breakdown of machine. Oil and gas, what they afraid of is the failure of their machine, especially the piping and so on. So they will stand by all the solution on site. Okay. Yeah. But as they move forward and as they're handling the same project again and again, they have the more better project planning tools inside there because they already have data to predict what we're going to have, what going to goes wrong at a certain stage. So sometimes maybe they will station more people in the midnight just to look at the sensor value and so on. Okay. So okay. Then after you deliver the result, you come to the last one, which is the closure. So you cross out or you verify that the work has been done. Then you close contract. You as a project manager, maybe you need to subcontract to outsiders. You have an outsider. So you need to close the contract and make payment to the contractor. Okay. So, and then this one financial closer, and you need to host a meeting, and some big company, they host a closing ceremony, ask the minister to come and cut the ribbon and so on. So this is the 5 process of the project management. 5 process. It's important. It's important and very popular when it comes to project management question. Okay, 5 process. Okay. Now, just now we learned about the process. Then we need to define what mean by successful, what mean by a failed projects. Okay. So I give you all. So successful in short term, in short word, it means that you are achieving what the customer want. Okay. So you're meeting the project objective within the time, cost, and at the desired performance or technology level. Means you optimize your resources to achieve the project's objective within the time and cost. Okay, so this project management, you talk about money, you talk about time, and you talk about equipment. Equipment. These 3 things, or resources. Or resources, or human also can. Okay. Then it must be at the end. What is more important is not only you say you are successful. What is important is your customers or your stakeholders say that, okay, we are happy with the products. We're going to pay you money. That is more important. Even though maybe sometimes you feel that this is not very good, but if your customer say, okay, we accept this quality, then you just close the project. Okay. Potential of a benefit. This one also I come up with one time in the final exam question. Ask what is the definition of successful project management. So you elaborate on these 3. So benefit, potential benefit is all this lah. So this one you read. I will not go through one by one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So normally I'll pick 4 for us, like what are the 4 potential benefit of an effective project management. So you pick any 4 from here. Okay, I don't expect you to memorize all, but at least half of the answer. So when you have an effective project management, it means you will keep seeing some keyword keep repeating throughout the module. One is the functional responsibility. So you know what they should. I mean the department know what they should do. Functional responsibility. Minimize the need of continuous reporting. Means they know what they need to do already, and you have a Gantt chart, a tools for you to monitor. So you don't need to have a continuous reporting because reporting consume time. In the production line or in the product design, time is money. So you don't waste time in the meeting. You waste time in producing the results that customer want. Okay, so identify the time limit of scheduling. This one is more on the project management. You need to remind the functional group, hey, you have 3 more days to give me the value, the data and so on. Okay, so identify methodology trade-off analysis. So there will be one trade-off analysis later you will learn in this module. So trade-off, it means alternative solution. Okay, so there's an analysis there. Then early identification of problems. This one also important because when you able to have a effective project management, you're able to identify early because there's checklist for you. So when your design team or R&D team, they follow the flow chart, they will tell you, oh, this one, the time that you tell the customer actually a bit optimistic. So you need to tell the customer you might not able to deliver on time. So if you have a very good project management team, then you're able to identify problem during the planning stage. Okay, so there are five processes just now. So this one, if you have a very good, effective project management, then you're able to identify the problems. Okay. Then this one is also you can elaborate on the successful project management, meaning meeting the customer objective or customer requirement. So you can do assessment whether you can meet it or not. Okay, so again, there are 4 types of decision in the project management: proceed without alteration, proceed without any changes, proceed with changes. The third one is on hold and wait for more information. The last one is cancel. So this one, during the planning stage, you can tell the customers or you can tell your sponsor, this project we cannot go because we don't have the resources. Okay. Fast, maybe 10 more minutes. So we call it a day. So unfortunately, benefit cannot be achieved by all these factor. Okay, constraint. So all these are constrained. So maybe because of the complexity, risk, and organization restructure means a bigger financial groups, they bought over the company. So they need to do restructuring when you run the projects. New buyers coming, new owner coming in. So when new owners take over the companies, usually there's a changes in the manpower or organization chart. So sometimes the one who make the final decision will change. So the way they see money or the way they spend money also different. Okay. So the change of technology also, the change of technology also means that if your competitor have a better machine, then maybe your competitor will steal the projects in the middle of the things, right? Okay, so this also important. and it will come out maybe in your test one or maybe in your final exam. So what is this diagram means? So the first, this is the gap, means communication breakdowns. What are how the communication breakdown can happen in the project management? Maybe you have the first type, you have management gap, means level by layer. So okay, you have to talk to this level first, then you talk to me. So operation level, supervisor level, mid management level, and top management level. So when you have a gap, means if the gap is big, then communication will break down here. Then some information, some delay will happen here. So when it happen here, then the top management make a very bad decision because they don't have enough decision from below. And the most important value data is from the lower base here, or we call it frontline workers. They know what happened in the frontline. So if the gap is bigger at this level, then you will make a bad decision. So the first type is called management gaps. And again, this is a diagram you're able to draw. So most probably it will in the section A kind of question. So it will ask you what is the illustrate how operational islands can form in the organization. So what you do, you draw this diagram, you get the full marks. I don't expect you to write a very long essay, but sometimes your answer can be just supported by a diagram. Okay, so don't expect you write essay in this module unless the last LO just now, LO4, that you need to elaborate on how to design a new product. That one is an essay question. Okay, so but question 1, 2, 3 basically very short answer, but carry a lot of marks. Okay, so you draw this one, you write the keyword here, you get some point here. Plus functional gaps or departmentization means you look at this one, it means functional do not talk to each of the functional groups. Like for example, finance don't talk to R&D, R&D don't talk to assembly line, production line. Then the gap will be big. So the shape is still pyramid shape, but it's just you break into like that, this one, functional group. Because each functional group, they have their own manager. They just jaga their own department only. Okay, so like I don't talk to you, talk to my boss first. Talk to my boss first. Like that one, this one. Then they have a functional gaps. Okay, so first one is management gap. Second one is functional gap. You combine these two, you become the very worst scenario. They call it operational island. Means they shock sendiri, means they have their in their own office only. They don't know what happened outside their department. They only know what happened in that maybe in that station, that production line station, and they don't know what happening in the R&D department. They just come to office and do their work and then go back. Okay, so the worst one is this one. The worst one is this one. So don't come to this one. Okay, so this is called organization gap. It can be one question. Section A, 10 points kind of question. You just draw this one. Okay, if the question asks you to illustrate how operational islands can form or explain your understanding of how management gap can how operation islands can be formed. So you can form from management gap plus the functional gap, then you form islands. Okay. Or sometimes the question asks you in C here, how do you reduce the gap, or how do you eliminate or minimize operation islands in the organization chart? Then this one is a free open question. The keyword that we're looking for to close the gap is what? Communication. Communication. It will solve all the gaps. Okay. So who are the one who close the gap? Is the project manager. You are the mechanism that link this field management and functional group. You are the guy who talk to all these people. Okay. So if you hold one day you hold project manager position, just let you know that you are very important. It can either make you in hell or can make you in heaven, because this is the opportunity you solve the internal company problems, and then when you grow, you have support from the functional department. You're able to learn things very fast. Like for example, you want to manage a project, you talk to the assembly floor managers. Hey, help me lah. Chinese New Year want to come already. Can you like station a few part-time workers for me to rush the orders from the sales? So if you are communicate well, then the production floor manager will help you. If not, then the production manager don't ignore you, then you're in trouble lah. Okay, so for example, like that. Then also is an opportunity for you as a project manager. You talk to the top management and let the top management know you, that you are inside the company. Somebody is inside the company managing this one. Okay. Okay. So the rest you read, the rest I already elaborate. This one is the class of prestige gap. Means this is your level, this is my level. Okay, you do your job like that. Okay. Functional group is more on the working units. They talk to their own department only. Okay. Yeah. Then the rest you will. This one sometimes there's a idea there, or there's a factor there where they fear giving up information that may strengthen their opponents. Means they have an internal competition within the companies. This one normally in the MLM company. You know MLM. So they have a different groups. So group number one, maybe they have a higher sale compared to others. So they traditional way, they don't share selling skill within the group one and group two. Because one, they share the way they sell, their sales might drop, or the customer will go to other groups. Okay, so this one also can happen where in the normal company where you have a competitive department. For example, you are the design firm, you are the designing firm, you have a group, team A, team B, team C. Sometimes it will form island also, because of the fear of giving up information that will strengthen the other teams. Okay. Okay, so like give you an idea like Avengers lah, like Avengers. Okay, so again, project manager is important in this diagram. His responsibility to communicate, the word communicate, cross-functionally and achieve the objective. Okay. So in this case, the Captain America is the project manager lah. If you watch the movie, you know what I mean. Okay. Okay. The rest you read is a very textbook definition of project management. So just now there are two. This is an overview of a definition of project management. This one you read lah. Okay. I need to explain the blue color words. When you draw an organization chart, how you draw? Like that, like that, like that, and like that, right? And then like that. Something like that. So you have level 1, level 2, level 3. So if you, I think this is the last slide I will be sharing. So, okay, so this one, vertical hierarchy. Vertical hierarchy is this one. This is vertical. Vertical hierarchy, this one is functional, or you can say as a department. Okay, functional hierarchy assigned to a specific project, that is a horizontal hierarchy. Horizontal is this one, this way. Okay, this is horizontal communication. Okay, so because when you manage project, you need to go through different departments, so you communicate like this way. Right? So when you do vertical communication, means is directly along the functional line. Okay, so these are the words lah. Okay, I think we stop here. Okay, stop here. I'll see you on Friday. Okay, see you Friday. 10, 10 to 11. Okay.